mother was a great cook, but I didn't like everything she made. And one of the things she made I really didn't like was lentil soup. Now we had, there were 4 kids in the family, the 2 parents. So my mother would make lentil soup. And I guess I just have this prejudice against gray food. And lentil soup is gray. And it has lentils in it, which is another downside. But my mother would make these great pots of lentil soup when she made it because I had to feed 6 people. And I was maybe in 8th grade, maybe 7th grade, but I was young and stupid. I'm no longer young. And for some reason, it was just one of those days, I was home alone, and everybody else was out, and I'm in the house, and there's this great pot of lentil soup on the stove, simmering. And there was, some in the house doing things, and I noticed on the kitchen table there was a thermometer. I looked at the thermometer, looked at the lentil soup, and I wonder how hot that is. Now, if it was boiling, it'd be 212 degrees, but I was young and stupid, I didn't know that. So I took the thermometer, and this is just a medical thermometer, oral. And I put it in the lentil soup, and it exploded. And I'm holding this little tiny shard of glass in my hand. Now, young and stupid, but I knew mercury was poison. This is dinner. I knew that ground glass in the intestinal tract was not a good thing. I learned this. I'd been to a movie just a week or so before, and I think in my mind it's a Rock Hudson movie, and he's somewhere in Africa, and there's great army ants, and people getting eaten by them, and a lot of great things. I loved the movie, but there was a plot device where people are poisoned by somebody ground up bamboo and put it in their food, and it just tore up their innards, and they died from that. And they said it was like having ground glass in your food. So I knew ground glass in the soup, not good. So I'm looking at the soup, and I said, what am I going to do? I can't kill my family just not to get in trouble. I had ethics. So I decided that, okay, I've got to do something. I decided I was going to invent a story. I invented method lying. Now, you've heard of method acting, and that's where an actor will actually adopt the character and stay in character all the time. Well, method lying is you come up with a lie, and then you actually do it. So it's no longer really a lie. I had ethics. So I decided I was going to tell my parents that I was running to answer the phone, and my shoulder hit the soup on the stove, and it knocked everything over, and it spilled on the floor, and that's why we don't have lentil soup tonight for dinner. And that sounded good to me, so young and stupid. So, but what I could have done, if I wasn't young and stupid, I could have taken the lentil soup, walked it over to the sink, poured it in the sink, put it back on the stove, and be done. But no, I was into method lying. I pretended the phone was ringing. I ran by the stove. I threw my shoulder into the soup, spilled it all over on the floor, and spent the next 2 hours mopping up lentil soup from the kitchen floor. I mean, if you're familiar with lentils, they're small. And in a liquid base, they can get into remarkable places all over. I mean, I was hours of mopping this up. So I invented method. My curiosity led me to invent method lying. And when my sisters hear this story, I've never told this story before. When my sisters hear it, there's going to be hell to pay. So, thank you.